let's have a look at a couple of front pages for you. And now, brace for the pain of the big crunch, says the Mail. Households facing tough times as the Bank of England predicts inflation will hit 11%.
Ministers are saying they may rule out tax cuts for 2 years until inflation comes back under control, leaving many worried over personal finances. That's the front page of the Eye.
The Guardian says the PM may scrap the role of ethics advisor after Lord Geit resigned.
And in the Times, England's most senior doctor has said doctors must stop doling out a pill for every ill. He says it leaves millions of patients hooked on drugs that they actually don't need.
OK, let's have a chat through some of those papers then with Benjamin Butterworth from the I newspaper and former editor of the Daily Star, Dawn Neeson. Morning to you both. And we're going to kick off, Dawn, with a bit of scouting.
With your woggle.
A woggle.
I'm determined to do the woggle joke, Stephen. Come on, you know me.
Neckerchief.
Exactly. Yeah, page 5 of the Daily Mail. Love this story. All the doom and gloom about inflation. This is a good story. Number of scouts has grown at the fastest rate since the Second World War because children are keen to get outdoors again after the dreariness of lockdown. Isn't that absolutely brilliant? Post-pandemic boom for scouts and Girl Guides as well means that there are now 90,000 young people waiting to join the movement, and girl guiding is also booming, 20% year-on-year rise. Absolutely love this story, and it is so good. I think we were all scouts and brownies and girl guides at one point, weren't we? No, and
I was a music maker.
A what, sorry?
I was a music maker. That's what I did every week. It was just different. I wasn't that mad on being a brownie.
I've still got all my badges.
I have. I've got the jumpers with it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually take them. They're on my sleeping bag now.
Oh.
And we are going back to the dark ages, obviously. But the
Blimey, I wonder if anyone watching at me, have you kept your brownie patches? And
Oh yeah, I've got all of mine.
So you've kept yours?
I've got everything from...
Have you got yours?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like because my grandmother probably wouldn't throw such a thing out, but I loved it as well. I really did, and it is great for kids because I was a bit of a shy, bit of an awkward cat, and all those challenges and bonding exercises really brought me out of my shell.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's really good, even when you're an adult. Like we're talking about it now fondly. Adults who were scouts are 15% less likely to suffer anxiety. When they reach adulthood. Isn't that
I bet that's because they've grown a love of the outdoors and also doing things.
Yeah, it is.
And then you know how to meet people if you do things.
Do you remember your Cub Scout promise?
Oh.
No, have I broken it?
Probably. I promise to do my best, to do my duty for God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law.
Yeah, and it was to keep the Brownie Guide law.
Gosh, that's rather old-fashioned, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
brilliant.
that's good. What's wrong with that? I think that's smashing.
I mean, clearly as a kid I wouldn't have minded, but I don't know if I'd like... If I had kids, I don't know if I'd want them to make an allegiance to God if they don't believe.
It's just the morals of it. It's just being a good person. I think that's what it implies.
Making a pledge, isn't it?
Religion. It's just being a good person.
Oh, yeah, I
There's
love
nothing wrong with that. So it's a happy story. I found that.
I love
Lovely. And if you're watching at the moment, go on, tell us, have you still got your Brownie, Girl Scout, Boy Scout badges and everything? And what were they for?
Wow,
Were you
tell you
very
what
proud?
mine were. So many of them.
I got needlework. How did I get needlework?
That was the thing about it, wasn't it? You could always find something that you would be good enough at to get the badge, and that, I think, was the whole teaching, wasn't it? Really good idea.
I even got woodwork as well.
Is it? Well, there you go. Bear Grylls is Chief Scout. He's,
That's right, yes.
I think he's brilliant. I love Bear Grylls. Benjamin to the Eye, looking at Tom Hanks wouldn't play the lead role in Philadelphia anymore.
So Tom Hanks played a gay man dying of AIDS in the film Philadelphia, for which he was highly praised.
He got an Oscar.
Yeah, and I think to this day it remains a popular performance. But he was speaking to the New York Times, and he said that it wouldn't be, in his words, appropriate for him to play that role now of a gay man, because he is, of course, a heterosexual man with a wife. And you know what? Maybe I'm going to alienate you a bit here, but I agree with Tom Hanks on this, because
I don't know that I do.
But you know what? It's not that a straight person, Tom Hanks, clearly did an amazing performance, but the only reason those films got made was because they had a famous heterosexual actor, and I think they feared that a gay star wouldn't, not that there were many gay stars, frankly, wouldn't get people to buy tickets. And I think, you know, in this day and age, it's a good thing that you can have gay people telling their own stories. But it's acting.
It's acting.
But then, you know, if it were just acting, it wouldn't be the case that all the people that are in Hollywood films are conventionally incredibly attractive, right? It's a whole brand that gets people to spend £10 or £15 on a cinema ticket. I think it's a good thing. And if you watched It's a Sin on Channel 4 about the HIV epidemic, it was so powerful because so many of the actors had lived through it or felt it in their community. I think I'm with Tom Hanks.
But the whole point of acting is to pretend to be something else or something you're not.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm not going to convince you, but...
I just feel it would be a shame if they just decided to remake a film like Philadelphia. They completely hideband themselves by saying we must only cast a gay actor, because you could be bypassing a lot of incredibly good actors who would be able to do Tom Hanks.
And there are lots of gay actors who play straight roles.
Straight roles.
There are, but the truth is, let me turn it around. Do you think a gay actor an openly gay actor, would ever get cast to play James Bond?
Yes.
They just wouldn't be considered. In the real world, I'm not saying it's the right thing, it's the wrong thing.
I think we're all almost at that stage.
Yeah.
But I don't think lots of places that watch James Bond would accept.
What's his face? Thingy Evans, the Welsh actor who's huge in Hollywood. I can't remember his first name now. And he's gay, but he always plays straight roles. And he'd be a good Bond.
Well, I was acting straight for many years.
Really? Not very well.
There were no Oscars.
No. Dawn, in the Times, weed killer.
This is, well, why not? Let's talk weed killer on a day when we're all going to be out in our gardens, if we've got gardens, lucky enough. Right, okay, this is page 3 of the Times. And this is good old Brighton and Hove City Council, one of the few officially green councils in the country. They have a green council, and they have they're blaming the weeds that are taking over their pavements and roads on Brexit. The fact that all these weeds are growing is Brexit's fault.
That will be.
Okay.
Everything is.
Of course, everything, absolutely. This is despite the fact that they actually banned weed killer 4 years ago.
Oh, right. So it's nothing to do with that?
No, it's nothing to do with banning weed killer. No, they said it's 2019, 3 years after. So they banned the weed killer because it had a chemical in it that was carcinogenic. So, sensible thing to do. Okay, but then they act a bit surprised that all the weeds start growing.
How do they blame that on Brexit?
They've come up with the idea that it's because they can't find any people to go and pull the weeds up. So this other great scam they have is to ask people that live in Brighton, and sympathies if you do, to weed their own sidewalks and roads outside their houses.
I feel like the weed problem in Brighton isn't the type that sprouts in your garden from when I visited.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh, really? Ooh.
This is also the Green councillor that infamously flew up to the COP26 summit, environmental summit in Glasgow.
Before we run out of time, Ryan Gosling, we've got to get...
We have to.
No.
So I hope you've got the picture, if not...
Sure we have.
Ryan Gosling has been cast as Ken doll in the Barbie movie, and it's caused a bit of a stir. There we go. He's got peroxide blonde hair, and he's 41 years old. And I don't know, I think that's a bit old.
He doesn't look it, though. I mean, for the benefit of those listening on the radio, he just looks thoroughly gorgeous.
They've shoved his head on my body.
Yeah, he's obviously got a bit of the fake tan. He's been working on the six-pack. He's wearing a little denim waistcoat and very little else. And, yes, peroxide blonde hair, but he looks the biz, doesn't he?
Tell you what, how they think Ken doll, sort of going out with Barbie, how anyone thinks that looks heterosexual.
Yes,
I don't know.
Indeed, I'm Team Zac Efron. I think he would have made a better Ken doll.
Oh, no, Ryan Gosling's gorgeous.
Zac Efron is actually life-size for the Ken doll as well, isn't he?
Very small.
It's quite tiny.
Is he?
Yeah, a lot of Hollywood actors are quite small, aren't they?
Oh.
They look better on screen, evidently.
Oh, there you go. Don't we all?
Again.
Okay, look, thank you.
I want to see your six-pack now, though. Come on.
All
give
right,
us a
well,
flash.
once you get into this next bit,
Please.
I'll give you a flash. Dawn Benjamin, thank you very much indeed.